my name is MoBo. Welcome to MoBo Speaks, so let's listen to today's story. The story begins with a zoo where some hunters enter and steal a lion cub. The cub was being taken in a plane by imprisoning it in a cage. After this, we see a 25-year-old girl, Alma, who wants to become a pianist. She also liked animals a lot. One day she was going to visit an island. Actually, this island belonged to her grandfather. Her grandfather adopted her many years ago. And now after her death, this island has been given to Alma as a heritage. Uncle Joe welcomed her to the island. There was a beautiful house there. She decided to spend the night on this island. Watching her grandfather's videos at night, Alma was very happy. In one of the videos, her grandfather told that a female wolf named Snow came to this island from somewhere a few years ago. And they became very close friends with time. Her grandfather told Alma to also find Snow and become friends with her. That night, the plane carrying the cub crashed on the same island due to bad weather. Alma got scared after hearing the crash and went outside to see. But that island was too big, so she didn't find anything. The next morning, two young men named Charles and Ellie came there. They set up a trap to imprison Snow. Actually, they were the owners of the wolf park. And they wanted to take Snow for him. After a while, Snow got trapped in the trap. But she escaped from the trap before Charles and Ellie came. Then she swam to the other side of the island where she met Alma. At first, Alma was scared. But then she remembered her grandfather's words and started to pet Snow. After a while, Alma reached the place of the plane crash. Fortunately, the cub was not hurt. He fell into a bird's nest. But the bird pushed him down. And then he fell into Alma's lap. Alma brought him home. At the same time, Snow came home with her cub. Alma was very happy to see three cute animals in the house. She immediately called Uncle Joe. But he told Alma that it is not right to keep these dangerous animals at home. You should give them to the zoo. Uncle also said that the zoo staff will definitely come there looking for the cub. And it happened exactly the same. The next day, the animal control people reached there. She knew how merciless the zoo staff are. So she decided not to tell them anything about the animals. She lied that she didn't see any lion cub. When she came home, she saw that Snow was feeding milk to the cub along with her cub. She was very happy because now Snow was taking care of both the cubs. As the days passed, the friendship between the two cubs kept increasing. Alma named the cub Jack. And the cub Dreamer. Uncle Joe was worried that these wild animals might harm Alma. But a few months passed like this. And now both the cubs had grown up. Alma took them to the island. And she was playing with them at her grandfather's favorite place. Unfortunately, one day when Alma went for an audition for the piano, she went to the island of the Park of the Wolf. This time, she was taken with Snow. Alma was selected and she was very happy. But when she came home, she lost her mind. All the things in her house were scattered. Because both the cubs were worried about hunger. Alma searched the whole island to find Snow. But Snow was not there. Now she had to feed the cubs. So she had to leave her pianist job even though she didn't want to. One day Uncle Joe came there again. And he was filled with anger after seeing the wild animals there. He asked Alma to send the animals to the zoo at that time. But Alma explained to him that her grandfather wanted her to stay with the animals. And then there would be so many atrocities on these innocent animals in the zoo. Finally, Uncle Joe agreed and hugged Alma. Now all his time went to feeding the animals and taking care of them. Alma loved Jack and Dreamer very much. And in return, the animals also loved her. 1 year passed by and now both the animals had grown up. Uncle Joe used to bring meat for them from the city. But he was afraid to go near them. He again explained to Alma that it is not safe to stay with them. But Alma was not ready to leave them at any cost. One day a mother and daughter came near the island in a boat. Jack started going to them after seeing them. As soon as Alma saw all this, she ran to stop Jack. But she fell down by hitting a stone. And she fainted at the same time because of the injury on her head. The mother and daughter could not see all this and went back in the boat. In a while, Jack and Dreamer came to Alma and tried to wake her up, but to no avail. They kept calling for help for hours, but no one came. Soon it was night and both the animals sat down. They stayed awake all night and gave warmth to Alma. The next morning, Uncle Joe called Alma many times. But when he did not get any answer, he understood that something is wrong. He immediately reached the island. He thought that these wild animals must have attacked Alma. So he called the animal control. But when he found Alma unconscious and saw the animals protecting her, he regretted his action. After this, when Alma was taken to the hospital, the doctor told him that if Jack and Dreamer had not given her warmth, she might not be alive today. The animal control caught Jack and handed him to Eli and Charles. They realized that Jack is Snow's child, and Dreamer was sold to a man named Alan who ran a zoo. Alan was a very merciless man who often beat his animals. But his son Rafa was very kind-hearted. Soon he became friends with Dreamer. But in a few days, poor Dreamer was forced to do his duty in the circus by giving many drugs. Dreamer had spent his life on the island, but these merciless people had a bad effect on him. So Rafa often went to him to calm him down. In the hospital, as soon as Alma came to her senses, she asked about Jack and Dreamer. Uncle Joe told her the truth with a heavy heart. As soon as Alma came out of the hospital, she went straight to the animal control's office. She found out that Jack was sent to the Park of Wolves, and Dreamer was given to a circus group. As soon as she heard this, she got angry and started shouting at the officer. But Uncle Joe calmed her down. After a while, Alma called Ellie and asked about Jack. Ellie told her that Jack is very happy and he has some friends here. This gave Alma some relief, but she was still very worried about Dreamer. For the next few weeks, she went to every circus in the city and inquired about Dreamer from everyone, but got nothing. There, because of Dreamer, Alan's big earnings started happening. Dreamer soon became famous as Star Lion. One day, Dreamer's circus group was passing by the Park of Wolves, and Jack immediately recognized his childhood friend. Jack came out of his cage with his senses. When Ellie saw this, she understood that Jack is very smart, and he is definitely looking for something. Soon Jack reached the one he was looking for. He cleverly released Dreamer from the cage. After so many months, they played together. When Alan found out about Dreamer's escape, he took out a gun that made him unconscious in anger. His son Rafa tried to stop him, but greedy Alan didn't listen to him. Losing, Rafa also went with Alan to find Dreamer. Alan also told Ellie about Dreamer. Now they understood that Jack and Dreamer are together. That's why high alert was issued all over the city. That evening, Ellie told Alma everything, and said that the animal control people are after both the animals. Alma was scared to hear this, but Ellie told her that she had fitted a tracker in Jack's body. Jack and Dreamer's last location was near a jungle. Now Alma and Ellie decided to find the animals together. Both the animals were roaming freely in the city, so the police gave orders to shoot at sight. Later, both the animals again reached the jungle, where Alan and Rafa saw them. Greedy Alan attacked Dreamer with his tranquilizer gun, but Jack came in the middle and was shot himself instead of his friend. Poor Jack fainted at that moment, while Dreamer got a chance to escape from there. After he escaped, Rafa immediately removed Jack's tracker and gave him a medicine that would kill the effect of the tranquilizer. After a while, father and son reached a bar, and Ellie and Alma also reached them through a tracker. Alan told them that he didn't have a tracker and sent them out. But smart Rafa made an excuse of bathroom and told everything to Ellie and Alma. He took them to the jungle where he finally found Dreamer. After that, Dreamer took them to a hut where Jack was resting. Fortunately, he came to his senses at the right time. But when he suspected the police, Alma drove both the animals away from the secret path. Now to reach the island, they had to cross a river. This was the only way to escape from the police. But there was no boat there, so everyone had to swim. Jack started swimming in the river, but Dreamer was afraid of water. Alma tried to encourage him, but Dreamer went back to the jungle. As soon as Jack and Alma were swimming, they heard the sound of a gun. It meant that Dreamer was no longer in this world. Alma started crying after reaching the island. But Dreamer suddenly appeared in front of her. Actually, he had gone to the jungle to distract the police. Everyone was happy to see him alive. Finally, Alma played the piano in the party to celebrate the return of Jack and Dreamer. Now their family was complete. In the end, Alma told everyone the story of her beloved animals. So which is your favorite wild animal and do you want to raise it? Do let us know in the comments. See you in the next video.